The Adriatic Sea, a place of blue horizons, quiet coasts, and calm waves. But beneath that calm lies a story far older and far stranger than any visitor ever imagines. Just off the Dalmatian coast, where fishing boats drift under sunlit skies, sonar once picked up something impossible. Perfect right angles, massive stone walls, terraces and lines too precise to be natural. A structure, a fortress, a city no map had ever shown. Its name, spoken only in fragments from forgotten regional legends, was Kranytsa, a fortress city swallowed by the sea and erased from history. Tonight, we descend to the bottom of the Adriatic to uncover what might be one of the most intriguing lost settlements in Europe, a place older than Rome, stranger than Troy, and more enigmatic than Atlantis. Legends of Kranytsa appear only in the margins, stories whispered in fishing villages, passed down through coastal families, rarely written, often dismissed. They speak of a fortress city on the water, built by a forgotten people who carved white limestone into walls so perfectly straight that even the waves respected them. Some say Kranytsa was a trading outpost. Others insist it was a military stronghold watching over ancient maritime routes stretching from Greece to the Italian peninsula. But one detail appears in every version of the story. Kranytsa did not fall to war. It did not crumble with time. Kranytsa drowned. Not from a tsunami, not from storms, but slowly, silently, swallowed whole. The first modern hint of Kranytsa appeared in 2003. A team of marine geologists was mapping the seafloor near the Dalmatian islands when their sonar screens lit up with shapes too geometric to ignore. At a depth of 32 meters, a massive rectangular foundation, a long wall stretching 120 meters, an inner courtyard-like depression. Nothing about this looked natural. When the team cross-referenced the location with historical surveys, there was nothing. No ancient harbor, no earthquake record, no known settlement, just a blank ocean. The report received almost no attention. Croatia was full of underwater ruins, Roman harbors, Greek shipwrecks, Illyrian artifacts. But this was different. It wasn't a ruin of a port. It wasn't a wreck. It didn't match any known culture. This structure was older, much older. In 2005, a diving team descended to the site for the first time. Visibility was low. Currents were strong, but what they found in the haze was beyond anything sonar suggested. A cyclopean stone wall built of blocks larger than a person. Some weighed more than 5 tons. Each block was placed with astonishing precision. The stones carried no mortar, yet the joins were tight enough to slip only a coin between them. Even stranger were the carved grooves along the upper edges, grooves identical to those used in Bronze Age defensive walls across the Mediterranean. But this site wasn't Bronze Age Greek. It wasn't Illyrian. It wasn't Roman. Its engineering style matched none of them. Several theories emerged. Theory 1. The early Illyrians. Some archaeologists proposed that early Illyrian tribes built Kranytsa as a sea fortress. But the stonework was too advanced, centuries ahead of anything known from Illyrian culture. Theory 2. a pre-Greek maritime culture. Others argued Kranytsa might belong to a lost pre-Greek seafaring civilization. Similarities with Cyclopean walls in the Aegean suggested a cultural link, but the Adriatic had no known settlements of that era. Theory 3. A unique Adriatic civilization. A more radical suggestion, Kranytsa represents a completely separate cultural group, one that never left written records. Someone built this. Someone with engineering knowledge far beyond what history records in this region. In 2011, deeper sonar scans revealed something shocking. The visible fortress wall was only the beginning. Beneath it was an entire lower city sprawled across the sea floor. Streets, terraces, circular foundations that might have been watchtowers, and what appeared to be a central stone platform, perhaps a temple or meeting hall. The city extended over 6.4 hectares, as large as some major Bronze Age settlements. But there was no evidence of collapse, no sign of destruction. It looked placed, as if the city had simply been gently lowered into the sea. That's when researchers began to examine seismic history. They found something extraordinary. Around 1200 to 900 BCE, this part of the Adriatic experienced what geologists call gradual subsidence, a slow, continuous sinking of land due to tectonic plate pressure. Not fast enough to create panic, but fast enough to change coastlines over generations. Imagine living in a fortress, watching the shoreline creep closer each decade, the docks underwater, the lower streets vanishing, until finally the sea rose above the walls themselves. Kranytsa wasn't destroyed. Kranytsa sank by inches over the lifetime of its inhabitants. Archaeologists believe the people of Kranytsa abandoned the city voluntarily. They didn't die here. They didn't fight here. They walked away, leaving their fortress to the sea. But they left behind no writings, no tablets, no carvings, no pottery with identifiable markings. Only stone, perfectly cut, impossibly heavy stone. Whoever they were, they built something meant to last forever. And it did, just not where they intended. If Kranytsa is so extraordinary, why isn't it world famous? 2 reasons. 1. Location. The site lies in a protected ecological zone. Only scientific teams can dive there. 2. Silence. The Croatian archaeological community keeps Kranytsa's coordinates confidential to protect it from looters. There are no tourist boats, no documentaries, no plaques, just the sea, and the quiet shadow of a city that refuses to be forgotten. If research continues, Kranytsa could rewrite the timeline of Adriatic civilization. It could prove earlier maritime cultures than previously believed, advanced stone engineering predating known settlements, migration or trade networks that historians have not mapped. It could fill a missing chapter between the Aegean, the Balkans, and early Mediterranean trade. Or it could reveal a civilization entirely unknown. Kranytsa is still down there, silent, massive, waiting. Not lost, not mythical, but real, carved by human hands, abandoned by human lives, and preserved by the sea for 3,000 years. Perhaps someday the world will speak the name Kranytsa as easily as it speaks Troy, or Babylon, or Atlantis. But for now, the Adriatic keeps its secrets, and Kranytsa sleeps beneath the waves.